I'm married. I love being married. I'm very pro-marriage. I was single my whole life, and then I got married, and this is the only person I've ever been with. 10 years, we've been together. Very happy. Yeah, thank you. It's nice. I love it. It's great. Being married to someone means you get some honest feedback that you are not expecting to get from anyone else on earth. My favourite bit of honest feedback from my wife came recently when I'm a little bit paranoid about my height, and I say why, is that I'm not actually short, but for some reason, people assume I'm short. And like, people think I'm like 5'6", 5'5", but I'm like 5'10 and a half, 5'11 in the morning. I'm like a decent height. I'm above average height for a man in the UK. I've Googled it. I know I'm not short. But I was trying to work out, why does everyone always assume I'm short? And I asked my wife, do you know why people think I'm short? Without even missing a beat, she goes, oh yeah, it's because you've got a small man's face. Do you know what I hate about that joke? That is a phrase none of you had heard till 4 seconds ago. And I could feel in the room that the more you looked at my face, the more you went, yeah, she is correct. He has got a small man's face, yeah. But it's awesome when you get married, because I hear so many comedians talk about men and women being different. They'll say men do this and women do that. The thing I've noticed is men and women, we're a lot more similar than I realised. And it comes from learning different things about each other. Like, quite recently, we had like a disagreement, me and my wife, and I'm kind of conflict averse. But at the end of it, she tried to kind of explain what was going on. She said to me, just Chris, what I wish you understood about me is when I'm upset, all I want is a man to hold me and tell me everything is going to be okay. And I remember thinking, that is also what I want. If I'm honest, deep down, when I'm feeling fragile, all I want is to be held by a man, a big one, if I'm choosing. You know those stupidly muscly guys with those weird things there and those lines? What are those two pinball flipper lines? How do you get those? I want those. How do you get them? Every time I see a really petite lady walking down the road with a massive man, I just find myself thinking, I wish I was her. Do you know what I mean? I bet she just feels protected at all times. Because I love a hug, so does my wife, but she gets the best end of the deal. Like, because head on a peck looking up is the best type of hug, isn't it? And when I'm hugging her, she's down like there going, I feel so safe right now. And I'm like, I feel very vulnerable right now. I'm exposed here, a clothesline can take me out. And I've realised even really tough men love a hug more than you think. Tell you how I know that? Boxing, right? You ever watch... Yeah, boxing. You ever watched a boxing match with two men? Two of the toughest men on planet Earth. You think they're going to be punching each other. That's not what happens. Mainly cuddling for 12 rounds, isn't it? Little dance, one jab, then straight in. It was all worth it for this moment in your arms. I've wanted to do this since the weigh-in. You know, they want to do that. This is how much I think about this. We were in bed the other day and we're spooning and it's just very like relaxed and nice, and she's little spoon and I'm big spoon. She turns to me and she's like really genuine. She's like, Chris, right now, this is my perfect situation. And I'm like, Hannah, if I'm being really honest with you right now, this is almost my perfect situation. What would make this my perfect situation in my heart of hearts would be you there, me here, and then The Rock, just that side, linked in, teaspoon, tablespoon, ladle. That's what, complete the cutlery set. That's what would be great, right? This side, loving it. This side, not so sure. That's fine. Some of you not into physical contact. That's fine, okay. I'll do the rest of the set this way. I love it. I'm very pro-marriage. I like the relaxed comfort of it, you know what I mean? I've got single friends who ask me, do you miss being single? And I was like, here's one thing I don't miss about being single, that no one really ever sort of talks about how awkward it is, and it's the first kiss with someone, even as an adult, the first kiss. I always found that quite an awkward thing, because when you're on a date, you're trying to be silly, you're trying to be fun, you're trying to be charming. For some reason, when you lean in for a kiss, it becomes the most intensely serious few seconds of your life. Makes no sense to me. You're like on a day, trying to be funny, like, what am I like? And then, Why did it get so serious? Why did it look like I was going to headbutt someone? What's happening there? And you've got to be serious, and in the last minute you close your eyes. You've got to how confident you have to be to close your eyes and assume they're still going to be there when you land. I was worried they'd move out of the way and I just do that and fall on the floor. And you have to close your eyes. That's the rule of kissing, the unsaid rule of kissing. But I don't know why, whenever I was kissing someone for the first time, I'd have my eyes closed. But for some reason, after a few seconds, I don't know why, I could never help myself just having a cheeky peek. Just a cheeky peek, one eye. I don't know what I thought would happen, like they'd been swapped for a guy called Ken halfway through. I wasn't expecting it. Here's what I discovered. It's actually okay to have a cheeky peek, unless they also have a cheeky peek at the same time. Twin Peaks, most awkward few seconds. It's like that bit in Jurassic Park where the T-Rex's eyeball is by the car window. You're just like both terrified for your lives. And the other thing, no one ever told me what to do is you've got to use your tongue when you're kissing someone for the first time, but I have no idea what I'm supposed to do with my tongue. You're just guessing. You're just like, is it up, down, left, right? You don't know what you're doing. So for some reason, I just fall into this automatic routine. I just after a few seconds, I just go autopilot and just be like, lizard, 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 round the world. I don't know why. Lizard, 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 round the world. Only got interesting at the end. Pretend I finished. Hannibal Lecter, thanks for having me. I don't know why. As predicted, again, mainly this side of the room. Loving it. There's like 2 people on board over there. That's fine. Okay. Try and move away from the intimacy for this side of the room. One of the big pros about being married, no one tells you this, spread the word. One of the best things about being married by a mile is being near someone you can scare when you're bored. Isn't that a lovely moment? Especially the first time you do it to your partner. Because when you scare them, you have no idea how that's going to go down. And if that goes badly, that is just a very uncomfortable, embarrassing reason to get dumped, isn't it? Chatting to your friend, what happened to you and Sarah? Well, I hid in a cupboard for 7 hours. And let's just say, when startled, she gets very violent. That's what happens. So I'm going to tell you about the first time I scared my wife and how badly it went. We're watching TV together, and it's the week of Halloween, so I'm like, this is the perfect time to test her out of a little bit of scaring. It feels seasonal. We're watching TV together, and she decides to go to bed. And a weird thing again, when you live with someone and they go to bed, you are allowed to stay up. But it is a little bit frowned upon, isn't it? Like... She's in bed, I'm in the living room, lights down, TV on volume 1 for some reason. Only eating yogurt because it doesn't make any noise, you know. No apples after midnight, that's the rule in our house. Too loud of food. So she decides to go to bed, but she goes to the bathroom first. So I'm like, this is my perfect opportunity. I run into the bedroom, I get behind the bedroom door. As soon as I get behind the bedroom door, I start giggling to myself. Behind a door, when I know a scare is about to happen, is my happy place, I swear. I could stand behind a door for years if I know there's a scare at the end. I think they should use this at the emergency room. I swear, that would be great, wouldn't it? Go to the emergency room. How long to see a doctor? 9 hours, but you can stand behind the door and scare him when he turns up. Billy be there going, scared you. And the doctor be like, you're going to die. Scared you. Fun. Right. Hilarious. So I'm behind the door. She's in the bathroom, like, giggling. This is going to be so fun. She's going to come in. I'm going to jump out, go, She's going to go, We're going to laugh. We're going to grow closer as a couple. That is not what happens. And I still think this is slightly her fault. Because I'm behind the door, a bit of cheeky pre-bed scaring. She's going to love it. But what happens is, on entry to the bedroom, before doing anything else, she immediately turns the light off. And I'm there going, oh no. Because that ramps things up 20 notches more than you want. Everything is incrementally scarier in the dark, isn't it? I could have been just standing there holding a muffin. That would have scared her to death. I baked it for you. It's blueberry flavor. So she's in the room, the lights are off, and I'm in my head going, what are my options here? What am I going to... And I decide I have to say something. I've got to do something, make some form of noise, because how much more scary for her would it be if she just got into bed, looked up, a few seconds later, and just saw like a shadowy figure leaving, exits, never gets mentioned ever again. So I decide to say something to make it better, but I made it worse. Because all that happened was she came in the room, turned the light off, shut the door, faced my vague direction. I locked eyes with her and just went, I'm sorry. She screamed so loud that I automatically walked straight out and went to bed on the sofa, knowing I laughed myself to sleep. One of us got a nice result out of that.